So this video is about how to change your hardwiring. I'm making this video after the fact because I noticed that the video had a lot of, it was kind of like in a lot of different areas. It covered a lot of different areas, so it might be a little confusing to watch the video for the first time. So I implore you guys to rewatch this video, pause it anytime you want, take notes, because I kind of get into different areas to prove other points, which I didn't think about before I made the video. So as I was speaking, I started having more ideas and more analogies and more analogies to support what I'm talking about. So if it gets confusing, just make sure that you are just pausing it and taking notes. Enjoy. How to change your hardwiring. 2 ways today that I'm going to talk about to shift your hardwiring. Now, statistics show that it can take 21 days to break a habit, but it can take 90 days to shift a hardwiring. What's the difference? Habits are your day-to-day routine, which changes your lifestyle. And in return, lifestyle changes your results in life. Hardwiring is so much more ingrained. It's so much more deeply rooted. It's like a subconsciousness. The way you feel is what creates your action. But how do you change the way you feel so you can create a different type of reaction? They say not to react in life, but not to react in life, but to respond. So the question is, how do you just say, you know what, I want a new reaction, a better reaction, which is stemmed from your memory, your subconsciousness. That's like a hardwiring. So how do we change a hardwiring? Well, let's break it down so we have a clearer sense of exactly which department every little terminology means, okay? A hardwiring is the 3 pillars of memory, emotions, and action. That is a hardwiring, okay? Your memory is your subconsciousness, which, like they say, we're human beings. We are driven based on emotions. We're emotional characters. We're emotional creatures. And it's very true, because without an emotion, we will never take action. If it's not funny or you're not happy, you won't laugh. If it's not sad, you won't cry. You need an emotion to create an action, whether it's a reaction or a response, however you want to look at it. A response is something that you choose to do, and a reaction is something your brain chooses to do. That's the 2 different things right now. So this is a hardwiring, which is changing your reaction. Now, we can react in life all the time. Our bodies naturally react to everything in life. If this car in front of me slammed on its brakes, I slam on my brakes. It's just a reaction. I don't have to think about it. My body just automatically, autopilotly does it on its own. It's a reactive auditory system. You might have heard that, RAS. You can look that up. You can study more about it. How do we train a reactive auditory system to quickly respond in those ways we want, instead of the old way, the old us? Because obviously our habits right now is currently giving us this result in this current state of our life, okay? I'm not gonna get into that, but today I'm gonna stay on the topic of changing your hardwiring. It's 2 things. When I say it's simple, it just means the concept is simple, but the practice is not easy. They're 2 completely different things. Like they always say, don't just know, do. It's again, it's very true, and this is how I break it down. It's simple to understand on a theory level, but you can't understand it on an emotional dynamic level yet until you get a taste of success, and now you understand it both theory, emotionally, and then the experience, the full experience. So here it goes. An experience I had that made me curious about this was I had a relationship, not a relationship, sorry. I was dating this girl who I actually wasn't attracted to in the beginning, but when I got to know her, I actually fell for her, and I liked her a lot. And somewhere along the lines, there was a few incidents where I got jealous. So I was, my body reacted. So remember, in emotion was jealousy and fear, okay? And then I had a reaction. The reaction was, my RAS, my reactive auditory system, was to destroy it, was to sabotage it, was to run from it. Because the subconscious brain has too much memories, whether you call it trauma or subconsciousness or memory bank, however you call it. But right now I'm using the terminology memory, subconsciousness. I've seen too much bad experiences in relationship in my entire life growing up. The first 7 years of my life, after the 7th year, all the way to yesterday maybe. Because there's more negative news, there's more negative stories being shared than there is positive. So my brain automatically felt jealousy. And the jealousy doesn't mean, yes, they say, on a very surface level, they say you're insecure, all this stuff. And it's very true. I was insecure. But when we go deeper into the emotion, when we go deeper into the emotion, we need to figure out, where is this memory? What is this memory? How many memories is attached to this emotion? That's the preface practice, is to, number one, just get your memories together. Write all of it down, collect them all, know it, feel it, don't react, just collect all the memories. And growing up, I had a father who was hurt in a lot of relationships, got taken advantage by women with his money, with his emotions, and to my parents being divorced, to being able to rent a little space in a family law office, and seeing all the day ins and days out of divorces, and how much money women got from men, and how devastated these guys looked when they came in, and just hearing these stories and news and friends and whoever, how much money people lost. Like, you hear more negative things in life. So my brain obviously heard more negative things in life, and all these fear and all these things, and abandonment issues, my mom leaving me, and all this stuff. And my father somewhat in a way too. So however, collecting all these memories and thoughts and understanding them and going deeper on each of those now. Okay, so let's pretend there's 10 memories that stem from these negative emotions. We call them negative emotions, or we call them what Tony Robbins says, fight or flight emotions, or call to action emotions. Because emotion is not good or bad. It's just your brain trying to tell you, hey, you need to do something about it this way or that way. Remember, they're not a negative emotion. They're just a emotion. Okay, it's actually a neutral. It's a neutral thing. It's just an emotion. But we've been taught by society that it's a negative thing, but it's not. So when you feel jealousy, when you feel fear, when you feel scared, it's not a negative thing. It's just your brain telling you, hey, you need to figure out why you're like this. You need to figure out why you're scared. You need to figure out deeper why this made you feel fear. Now, the same two person can look at the same memory and feel completely different things. There are people that go, wow, this is a good thing. I see something great. And another person will say, wow, oh shit, something's about to happen. I'm scared, why am I feeling fear? Now here it goes. Back to where I was talking is I felt jealousy. And I found out why. And I realized, oh crap, I sabotaged this potential relationship because I don't feel like I deserved her subconsciously, not consciously, right? I don't feel like spending my time and all these investments and getting into this relationship and making it work, and afraid to fail later on because I'm going to feel more hurt. And if I feel more hurt, it's going to hurt my business, it's going to hurt my personal life and the people around me, and it's going to bring me down. I remember how heartbroken I was in the past relationships in my life and how much it just drained out of me, those years that I've spent losing emotionally, the energy that drained out of me. The brain is smart. The subconscious brain is smart. It goes, hey bro, your brain goes, hey, the survival organ, your brain is purely a survival organ. It has nothing else to do with your functions of your liver, your kidneys. They're all meant to do something different. So your brain just says, dude, you can't afford to lose more time because time is sensitive. So get the hell out of here. Go, run. I hope this makes sense so far, okay? If I've just recapped everything, it's my memories, the negative things that I've seen, heard, smelled, taste, touch, feelings. In Buddhism, they call it the 5 poisons, okay? All those things created my memory, and 95% of it is negative, which creates fear, scare, abandonment, whatever you want to call it. So every time I get into a relationship, the last 15 years of my life dating, I'm 34 now, pretend I started dating when I was 15 or 17, whatever the number is. I'm Asian, I'm bad at math, however. None of my relationships, if you recall your relationships, how long do they normally last? My relationship didn't last more than 3 months. A lot of them. You know, online dates, dating, whatever the case may be. They all didn't last more than 3 months. And I started to notice a cycle. Every woman that I date, I come across these same emotions that I go, we're done, I'm out. Why? That reaction came from a memory. That memory created the emotion. The emotion gave me the fight or flight. Oh, I saw one little thing bad about her, it's game over. Well, I had to do something about it, because when I fell in love with this girl, I was like, uh-oh. When I fell in love with this girl and I found out she was the one, I said, uh-oh. I was fearful now. Because I know if I don't change my memory, this relationship wouldn't last. My sabotagement will roll out the same way. Now, you may disagree with me here. You may think, no, if I find the right one, I would change and all this stuff, and it would be so great. No. The programming in here, the programming that we've been given, that we've seen, heard, taste, touch, felt, experiences, pain, trauma, happiness, whatever emotions you feel, created us already. No matter what good thing or bad thing comes into our life, we treat it the same one way. The same one way. So, what are the 2 things that I did to change my hardwiring? I believe it took me about 2 weeks to shift my hardwiring. It didn't take me 90 days. It didn't take me 60 days. It didn't take me 30 days. It took me 2 weeks. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a master at this practitioner, but I felt success. I felt that success. I felt that hardwiring literally being used in a same situation in my life that would have made me react the same. But my reaction was completely different now. Completely different. Okay? So here it goes. The 2 things that I did was, number 1 was meditating and figuring out all the memories. Just collecting all the memories, writing it all down, knowing, understanding it, and analyzing all those memories, okay? 1.5 is analyzing all the memories. Oh, my parents grew up, they didn't have the right education, they didn't have YouTube, and they didn't have books, and they didn't go and seek the knowledge, they didn't have mentors. So everything they've done in their life was a negative connotation for them, or not the way they wanted to turn out. So then I go, okay, well, that means their memory is not qualified. And I looked at my grandparents, I looked at the people around me, I looked at all my memories, and I just analyzed every bit of them. And you got to be so true to yourself in this moment, because if you don't get this right, you can't move forward 1.5, okay? So when I got all of it down, I started meditating, and there's many forms of meditation. The meditation that I was practicing was like a deep, emotional, forceful, emotional meditation. Now again, practice is simple. I mean, the concept is simple, but the practice is difficult. Now part 2, okay, number 2, when I sat down and I started meditating, I started purposely create the same scenario in my head to feel those jealousy and the fear. What it feels like is like your body heats up, starts tingling, you start feeling this, you can sweat maybe a little bit, you can feel a damp sweatness of like a moist coming out of your skin and your pores. That's your body reacting again. You create the same memory, you create the same emotion, you create this fear. And I started reversing that fear forcefully by feeling gratitude, by wishing everybody in my life the best. I wish that girl that I was dating the best. I thought about scenarios, the worst case scenario. I thought about what if she left me 6 years into it, 2 years into it, 2 months into it. Hey, I started changing my thinking. Well, you know what? In this world, there's so many people, so much more, billions of people now. It's hard to find true love. If she found somebody else during the process, better. Hey, you know what? I wish them the best. I gratefully, genuinely had to force that emotion first, and I kept repeating that same cycle for every practice, every 10 minutes. Whenever I practice, whether it's in my car, whether it's at home, whether I'm about to go to sleep, whether I'm in the shower, whether I'm alone, whenever I'm alone, I practice the same emotion. Just feel it. Feel the gratitude. Feel the gratefulness. Wish them the best. Wish yourself the best. How do you wish yourself the best? I've never heard of this until I thought about it on my own, and now I'm sharing it with you. We gotta wish ourselves the best. We have to wish our consciousness the best, and we have to wish our body, which is our vessel, the best. And it's simple. Well, it's simple. Remember, the concept is simple. The practice is difficult. So I started wishing myself the best. Like, wow, you know, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy I met this person. Even though if I lose her, hey, I'm grateful for the memory we've created. I'm grateful for even meeting her. I'm grateful for the lessons and the learnings that I've got from this person, this relationship we had, this person that I met, this person I'm sharing time with is genuine. I learned a lot. I should be grateful. What happens now at the end of the day? Now, you may disagree and say, well, no, you know, all the stuff. Why would she leave you? Like, I had some people asking me, telling me, well, there's a reason why she left you and all the stuff. They're analyzing these micro things. But hold on one second here. The most important thing is to practice the practice first, because you can always create a new memory when it's better. Now, this practice is to shift you from one hardwiring to the next that's just a little bit better or a lot better. But your outlook in life is different. When you practice this muscle, this practice of constantly continuing to force this emotion into you, and a different memory and a different logical memory, so logical memory and also a different emotional memory, your brain is like a muscle. You curl 10 pounds 1 week, the second week you're curling 15, the third week you're curling 20, and so on and so on. Your brain can't make a change overnight, but it can make a change over several nights. It depends how much you practice. If you go to the gym 2 times a day, can you get bigger muscles than you going to the gym 1 time a day? Yes. So my point is, how much are you willing to practice this? I practice this about 3 times a day. Sitting there, quieting the mind, and then go into this deep thought, recreate the emotion, feel the same fear, the same jealousy, the same panic, the same anxiety, and then you think about the good thoughts in that very tough moment. And it feels very awkward. I'm going to tell you the truth. It feels very awkward that moment. But I guarantee you, when you practice this over and over and over and over, when you go through the same motions, the same memory, the same situations in life, the same dilemmas in life, the same situations in life, you can feel your brain using a different hardwiring. And your query in the brain goes, wow, I don't feel like that anymore. I don't feel the fear anymore. I feel gratitude. I feel great. I can wish this person the best even if they made out with another person in front of me. Now, it's really far-fetched, but to say what I just said, right? Why would your brain be okay with this person that you're attached to, that your ego says, this is mine? That's a whole different subject, but you're learning to let the ego down even more by doing this practice. I hope this makes sense to you, because if it doesn't, you can comment below. I'm more than happy to reply back, set up a phone call, something in that nature. But I want you guys to practice. Number one is just understand the practice. Okay, understanding the concept. Maybe you have to pause through these videos every now and then and go back and forth, because I know I jump around a little bit here. And then write down everything, and then meditate and figure out what memory is triggering those emotions. You know, whether you felt, envy of somebody getting a car that they wanted and that you wanted, and you felt envy or jealous, or whether, your relationship, maybe with your parents even. Maybe when your parents speak, you get all routed up and get pissed. Maybe you don't like your parents giving you advice. Why? Every emotion we feel that creates our action stems from a memory. I promise you that. That is the evolution. That is the ecosystem of our life. I implore you to try this out. I hope this video helps you out. It was a bit long, but if you have any questions, comment below. I'll get back to you there. I love you all. Have a great day.